locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. That's right, and today we have a special edition. This is the all-in edition of the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. I know all of you indie wrestlers out there, all of you indie wrestling fans, you've been clamoring, Duke, we need more indie content. Why are you always talking about WWE, Duke? Why are you always doing this? Why are you always asking me crazy questions? Huh? Don't you know the WWE is my family? Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he's a good friend of mine. I talk about the WWE because that is the most topical topic in all of pro wrestling. Did you like that? Huh? I used to use topical, all that stuff. That's right, it's good stuff. But I'm going to give you a break this time. I'm going to make this about All In. We're going to talk about the card. I'm going to give you some info on how I feel about this mega event in pro wrestling history. Yeah. So Cody Rhodes, I know you're going to take some time to listen to this. I got some things to say. A few things to say about that, pal. I know a lot of folks have been asking me to comment on the knucklehead who chokeslammed the little girl in the ring. You know, it was all pro wrestling nonsense there. What's the girl's name? Izzy? Is it Izzy or is it Izzy? What is it? Izzy? The one that dresses up like Bailey? What's her name? I think it's Izzy. Whatever. Her and her strange parents, wrestling fans that have taken things a little too far. They got their 11-year-old kid getting choke slammed in the ring with a guy wearing tights that say daddy on them. I don't understand that. But I'm going to table that. We're going to discuss that further next week. Get the Boston bad boy in here. In fact, I'm going to get my man Sean Reed from Pugilism Co. Excuse me. Going to have him come on and discuss some of these crazy topics here because I just feel like some of you wrestling fans out there have lost your damn minds. And I think we've gone a little too far on the indie scene with some of these stunts. You can blame punks like Kenny Omega. I don't like Kenny Omega. I dislike Roman Reigns more, but I really can't stand you, Kenny Omega. Little upset with my friends over at Pro Wrestling Illustrated, by the way. They named Kenny Omega the #1 wrestler in the world out of their whole PWI 500. That's a fact now, folks. Not a spoiler. It's a fact now. So we'll talk about that stuff a little bit more next week. But this week, we're going to go all in. But before I get to that, here's a couple of not so random thoughts. Injuries in pro wrestling are as common as a headlock. I mean, literally, we're talking about an industry that is physical, demanding, and unfortunately, it's inevitable that something will go wrong. It's not a question of if, but a question of when. That's why I like to give a special shout out to Alexa. You know, she's one half of the twin duo Sugar and Spice. She just had neck surgery about a day ago, and she's on the mend now. So shout out to Alexa. You know, we were on the ground level with this group. They trained over there at the Texas Wrestling Academy with Rudy Boy Gonzalez. Literally the trainer of champions, Daniel Bryan, Brian Kendrick, et cetera, et cetera. But Alexa, she's pretty young in her career, and she's already had to have neck surgery. So she's on the mend, folks. She's doing well. She sent me a message the other day and let me know she's doing all right. So fantastic. Glad to hear that. We also have Lars Sullivan, who actually just came back in NXT. He was out with a broken jaw. So he's back. He's going to be feuding with EC3, which is pretty fantastic. Now, Lars, he's an oddly shaped monster of a man. So, and I mean that as a compliment, Lars. Don't come over here and try to eat me because I'm pretty sure you could bite my head off with one bite. Don't do that, please. I would sue you. So welcome back, Lars. There's also Dasha Fuentes. You know, she is the backstage host, and she does a really fantastic job. She tore her Achilles. Poor woman. So she had a cast for a little while there. She just got it taken off. Looks like she's going to be reporting back to work sooner rather than later. Really a fan of Dasha. I think she does a great job. You know, I like her because she's very positive. I don't know if anyone ever follows Dasha Fuentes on Twitter or on Instagram. She's always posting positive stuff, which is really cool. And plus, she's friends with Naomi, which anybody who's friends with Naomi is obviously an awesome person. So, welcome back, Dasha. On the men there. These injuries, they're athletes, these folks. Even Dasha, you know, she does tumbling and all kinds of crazy stuff. She's flipping and dipping and doing all these things. Pro wrestling is pretty real, man. The dangers are real. The injuries are real. So please, for all you folks out there who are wrestling or who are just getting started, make sure you're going to a reputable training facility and learning how to do things the right way. And when you get injured, not if, but when you get injured, take your time. Allow things to heal. Okay? It's a great time to study some tape, especially in 2018. We are in the information era where you have more access to wrestling from all over the world. You can go to YouTube, you can go to the WWE Network, you can go anywhere. Daily Motion. You can watch matches, Twitch. You can watch matches from everywhere, from any time period. Pretty sure we can pull up something from Abe Lincoln when he was wrestling. Who knows? Was video around back then? Yeah. If it was, I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'll have to look that up. But please, take your time. You get injured, that's a time to rest. It's a time to work your brain. Get into something else. Grow your fan base by talking to folks, doing AMAs, Ask Me Anythings online. Do these things to keep yourself engaged and stimulated, but at the same time, rest your body, please. Don't come back too soon. Don't rush things because you could take something that could heal and you make it permanent. So just throwing that out there. I'm not really sure what's going on with WWE right now and the way that they are distributing or shining a light on these female athletes. Doing a pretty poor job, to be honest with you. Shout out to my good friend Analytical Kate. You know, she has the Raw Breakdown Project, rawbreakdownproject.com. She does a great job of analyzing how much time women, people of color, you know, everybody, how much time are they getting on TV, on Raw and SmackDown? And sometimes she even does the pay-per-views, which is pretty awesome. The WWE has the greatest collection of wrestling talent in the history of this great sport. Male and female. So why the hell are women not being featured more? More. Give me more, damn it. Somebody said to me today, they said, you know, Duke, the writers, they mess it up. They do a bad job and they would just ruin things for the women because that's what they've been doing. Okay. I'd rather the writers mess it up and have the women in matches as opposed to not even allowing that to happen. Because at the end of the day, a great wrestling match is still a great wrestling match. I don't need an elaborate storyline for Sasha Banks and Asuka. I don't need an elaborate storyline for that. Just put them in the ring. Kidding me? You think Alexa Bliss and somebody like Ember Moon, you think they need an elaborate storyline? Put them in the ring. Let the wrestling tell the story. Put a microphone in their hand and they'll figure it out. They'll lead you into what the story's going to be. Don't give me that crap that because the writers are doing a poor job with writing storylines for the women, that's why that we can't feature them on TV anymore. That's nonsense. We need to get to a point of parity, of equality. And we don't get there until you make it happen. Just like that, the WWE could feature women just as much as they feature men on television. You don't need any kind of special pomp and circumstance to do that. Just do it. And I got to tell you, on SmackDown, they're more efficient and they're more effective at how they utilize their female talent. And one could argue that the better female talent is on Raw. What the hell? Come on. What are we doing? So, just throwing that out there. Shout out to Nattie Neidhart, by the way. She wrestled her first match back since her dad's passing, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. God rest his soul. Nattie, strong. Strong, man. Real strong. It's tough. You will never get over losing a parent. You'll get to a point where you can move forward, but it's always going to be in the back of your head. And I know that from personal experience. It's tough. And Nattie and her dad were close, man. And she's in the business that put food on her family's table. And now she's doing that for her family. Same business. Same company where, they made their bones here. It's tough. So shout out to Nattie. Glad she's back in the ring where she belongs. She's awesome. Nattie's one of the top wrestlers in the entire universe. I mean, there's very few people you can say are better wrestlers than Nattie Neidhart. Male or female, that's just a fact. What's that, the facts? Yeah. Shout out to Nattie. Folks, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up something that has really been a hot button topic. And we have a lot of fans from all over the world who listen to the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast, and I appreciate you for that. And I understand, because I one of the things I try to do is communicate with as many of you as possible, because I really appreciate you folks rolling with us, especially from the beginning. It's awesome. Awesome to see. Great growth. The last couple years, just been fantastic. But I know a lot of you fans from outside of the country, the United States, you listen to the show because we do pepper the show with some current events happening here. We're not afraid to talk politics. There's a couple of you, Duke, it's a wrestling show. Why do you got to do that? Damn it. Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. Anything I say about him is related to wrestling because he's a Hall of Famer. His entire life can be examined for that reason alone on this show. And WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump, he probably has disgraced himself. I mean, he's done it so many times over. It's a habit of his. He's pathological with it. But he's really disgraced himself this week. One of the greatest American patriots in the history of this nation, John McCain. And that's not hyperbole. It's a fact. Unquestioned. John McCain is one of the greatest patriots in the history of this nation. He and his family decided that he was no longer going to take treatment for his cancer, which I believe was brain cancer or something like that. John McCain passed away. And it's a tough deal there, but hey, at least the man's not in pain anymore and what have you. But the president of the United States, allegedly, this guy, first of all, he's made it clear to the world that he doesn't like John McCain. He doesn't like people who get captured, which is really a stupid thing to say, by the way. It's customary in America when someone of a certain level of significance passes away, we lower our flags, bring it to the halfway point. And at the White House, they did it, but then a strange thing happened. They raised the flag right back up less than two days later. And when Donald Trump put out a statement, WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump, when he put out a statement, he made it about himself. Talking about how his condolences to the family, what have you, but he didn't say anything positive about John McCain, the late great senator, American hero, what have you. And then he was asked numerous times by our members of our media if he had anything to say about John McCain, and he refused. He wouldn't say anything at all. Kept his mouth shut. These are the kind of disgraceful shenanigans that happen, folks. And I'm telling you right now, if we put this in the scope of a pro wrestling storyline, it is clear that Trump is the ultimate heel, and not in a good way. This man is just acting in a dastardly manner that quite frankly, I can't even think of an equivalent in wrestling. I don't know who could consistently be this disgusting and disgraceful. Can't think of anybody. Yeah, we had guys like Mad Dog Vachon and Baron Von Raschke and some of these guys who really wanted to focus on being a heel for most of their careers. Sure. Asia Kong. Sure. But this guy takes the cake. Just really a despicable human being if you're going to sit there and not honor a hero like John McCain. This man was in the military. His plane got shot down. He was captured. He was held for years. He could have left. They were going to release him, but he would not allow them to release him if they weren't going to release everybody else that they had captured. John McCain risked his life and lived to tell about it. Then ran for office and won. Been a senator for like 30-something years. This is John McCain, American patriot, hero. No matter what you feel about his politics, and trust me, I got a lot of issues with John McCain's politics. He and I probably saw eye to eye on issues maybe half the time, if that. But damn it, he was a hero. He was a white meat babyface if you ever seen one. That was the real patriot. Shout out to Doe Wilkes. If John McCain was a wrestler, he would be the patriot. Wrapped up in the American flag and everything. And this alleged president of ours doesn't have the decency to honor this man properly. What the hell is going on? And some of you cheer this man. Think about that for a second. You cheer this heel. This person who doesn't have the decency to honor a hero who risked their life and gave this country everything. You cheer this man. What's wrong with you? Morally, what's wrong with you? Don't tell me about politics. Don't tell me about left and right and Democrat and Republican. Morally, what the hell is wrong with you? It reminds me of Bret Hart when he pointed out the fact that Stone Cold Steve Austin was coming out and cussing and flipping people off and doing all these crazy things, and you fans were cheering it. And meanwhile, a white meat babyface like Bret Hart was getting booed. It's amazing that something like that can actually occur in real life. You're cheering this man who's foul-mouthed and just disgusting and treating everybody so terribly. You like that. Abuse. Ugh. I don't know. Rest in peace to American hero John McCain. And I'm going to tell you right now, the way that this investigation is going, eventually people are going to be put behind bars. And this nightmare of administration is going to change. And hopefully it will change for the better. It's just the way it is. The system will correct itself. Just like in pro wrestling. Folks, I'm going to take a quick time out. But when we're back, we're going to just jump right into it. The Duke talks all in. But before we get to any of that, I got to tell you. So I went to the mailbox today. And I received the best gift ever, okay? My good friend, April Hunter. Now, you all know who April Hunter is, okay? She was one of the ladies from the WCW, NWO era. I like to call her Big Red. She's an internet legend. Somebody, like, I'm literally, for folks who want to understand commerce on the internet, you need to talk to April Hunter. She has been on the internet for over 20 years doing her modeling and videos and things of that nature, selling her autographed photos and what have you. She has really done an excellent job of figuring out commerce on the internet and maintaining a fan base. And it really is just something to marvel at. Somebody should teach a class based on her business strategy and some of the things that she's done in order to remain relevant. Because, you know, youth and beauty fades away, in the humble words of my man, Bob Seger. Youth and beauty fades away. I mean, there's always going to be somebody younger, faster, or whatever. But April has endured, and she continues to do a great job and pump out some great stuff out there. She even has a Patreon website, which is awesome. April Hunter. But I received a gift from her Etsy shop. So April has an Etsy shop. It's called April Sensations. In fact, the website is etsy.com/shop/April Sensations. That's APRILS SCENTSATIONS. And of course, we're going to put it on the Twitter and we'll put it on the Duke Loves Wrestling Facebook page. We'll put that out there. She's making candles. We're talking organic, soy-based candles. She's also making soaps. This stuff is awesome. I'm into this. You know what I mean? I like natural things. I like when somebody hand makes something. We don't hand make things anymore. Everything is machines and mass produced. This is handmade stuff by April Hunter. My goodness. Still getting booked at Comic-Cons. She's a writer now as well. She's gone to school. She's writing stories and stuff. She's awesome. So as I'm talking to you right now, I'm doing the Morning Wood, the winter edition, which, it literally smells like a holiday wreath. Just really fragrant, but not overpowering, not overbearing. It's awesome. So please check out April Hunter's April Sensations over at Etsy.com. Check out her Patreon if you just want to look at a beautiful, talented young lady, what have you. But, support your local wrestlers. I mean, April has done it all. She's wrestled them all, too. Any woman in this industry, for the most part, who has been a name within the past decade plus, April Hunter has had some kind of interaction with them. She's wrestled with them. She's probably taught them a thing or two. April's awesome.
Hi, this is Earl Oliver from Sully Finish Wrestling.
This is Raj Giri with WrestlingInc.com.
This is Sean Reed, boxing writer and undercover low-key wrestling fan, and you're listening to Duke Loves Wrestling. Woo!
All right, folks, let's do it. Let's talk about All In. Literally the biggest indie wrestling event in the modern pro wrestling era. This is something that was put together by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. I've been telling you for weeks now, Cody, no one would know your name if it wasn't for Vince McMahon and the WWE. Okay, we all know that. We know that's how I feel. And I'm going to say that again. I understand. A lot of you reached out to me, and some of the wrestlers too, very upset about me saying that. I'm not trying to be derogatory. I'm just telling you the truth. I had no clue who Cody Rhodes was until I saw him during the Hall of Fame induction ceremony for his father, the late, great Dusty Rhodes. At the time, he was still around. I don't know who Cody Rhodes is. Didn't care. But then Cody burst on the scene, WWE, and did a great job. He's won some titles and all that good stuff. That was good. Good for you, Cody. Company released him because he wanted to be released, and now he's put together a decent career for himself. Now he's doing this mega event here that sold out in less than 20 minutes. It's pretty awesome. This all-in thing, it's happening in Chicago. It's a pay-per-view event, which is pretty cool. In fact, you can order it on Fight TV. They're doing something called 0 Hour, which is a pre-show. And they got an over-budget battle royal, which the winner is going to be able to wrestle Jay Lethal, which is pretty awesome, for the Ring of Honor Championship. Okay. But that over-budget battle royal for the 0 Hour pre-show, that's going to be on WGN, which is a cable network based out of Chicago. So folks will be able to see that. It's pretty cool. Listen, I appreciate people who go out there and take chances. And I appreciate people who work hard. And let me tell you something. Cody Rhodes works very hard. Clearly. Look at his lovely wife. She works hard too, by the way. Shout out to Brandy. She had that collarbone injury there. She got some metal in there now, and she's still trucking, man. I really respect her. But I don't like Cody. He's a punk. A little arrogant. Kind of not always the nicest person in the world, from what he's admitted himself in interviews. I think Cody needs to acknowledge the fact that Vince McMahon is the greatest thing that ever happened in his life outside of his parents and his brother and his sister and his wife. I think the fact that Cody Rhodes doesn't pay homage in public more often to my good friend Vincent Kennedy McMahon is really disappointing. And that's why Cody and I will never be friends. You will respect Vincent McMahon because he is the person that allows you to do what you're doing right now. If Vince McMahon wanted to shut down All In, he could do it just like that. Okay? Let's just get that out of the way. All right? You got all these punk promotions. Ring of Honor. I was at the first Ring of Honor show, by the way, so let's not play games here. I was there. I've been supporting Ring of Honor before they even existed. You can ask Rob Feinstein about that. But you got wrestlers from Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Lucha Libre, AAA Worldwide, the NWA. Shout out to the NWA. You know I have a soft spot for the NWA. That was always my favorite promotion growing up. Nature Boy Ric Flair and the boys. I'm a big fan of Tim Storm, friend of the show. I've interviewed him before. So, you know, I respect the NWA. But don't act like this would happen if the WWE didn't allow it to happen, Cody Rhodes. I won't even talk to the Young Bucks about this because I don't really care. I think their gimmick is for somebody. It's not for me. You ever notice, you know, like music that you hear and it's like, that's not for me. Like some of this mumble rap, people with crazy hairdos and nonsense going on. It's not like punk music. You know, back in the late 70s and the 80s, for those of you who are a little older here, you'd see the punks going around with the spike collars and the crazy mohawks and all that crap. And you say, that's what's going on there. That's how some of these punks are today. With this mumble rap and all this weirdo stuff going on. I don't know. It's not for me. It's not to say I can't find something that I enjoy out of it, but it's not for me. And neither are the Young Bucks. They're not for me. They don't wrestle the way that I know what wrestling is. Super kick party. What the hell are you talking about? You know, gentleman Chris Adams, when he would super kick somebody, knock their head off. I don't know what the Young Bucks do. Super kicking kids in rings and stuff. They're another couple of punks. Don't get me started. I'm going to make my light bill go up. Don't act like you exist unless Vince McMahon allows you to exist. Do you hear what I just said? Let's go over the card here. First of all, this is happening, you know, literally this weekend. Like, there's a big convention going on. You got StarCast with my good friend Conrad Thompson. He's putting it on. It's the biggest wrestling convention ever, which is pretty awesome. Shout out to Conrad. Very proud of him. I think you can go on to Fight TV and you can actually watch StarCast as it goes down because there's so much going on. I couldn't even go over everything. Conrad was on the show a couple weeks ago. He talked about some of that stuff. I'll repost that for folks who want to see. But let's go over the card here for All In. Kenny Omega versus Pentagon Jr. I don't like Kenny Omega. According to PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, he's the number one wrestler in the world. I don't like Kenny Omega. And Pentagon Jr., whatever. So I'm going to go with Pentagon just because I don't like Kenny. I could care less about Pentagon Jr. as well. I know a lot of folks like him. They say that he's really the it wrestler. He's like that next level of it wrestler. Hopefully WWE signs him. Pentagon, do the right thing. Take the money. Come to WWE. We'll make you into a real star. Just so you know. Jay Lethal, the Ring of Honor champion, he's going to take on the winner of the Over Budget Battle Royal, which I guess is just a bunch of indie people going to be in the ring. They're going to wrestle each other during that pre-show, and then, you know, they'll get to wrestle Jay Lethal later on in the card. Great for you. It's called the Over Budget Battle Royal because literally All In was over budget, but Cody got this opportunity to show a portion of the show on WGN, which is a nationally syndicated cable channel. So Cody started pre-selling pieces of the ring, the soft goods, what he calls it. Pieces of the ring, the canvas, I'm sure the ropes, all that crap. Pieces of the ring to collectors. So he got the money in advance, I'm assuming here. And he's taking that money to pay the wrestlers to get them all to wrestle each other for this televised portion of the All In pay-per-view. It's brilliant. It's a smart move on his part. Good job, Cody. So the winner of that Battle Royal is going to take on Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor Championship. Great. I hope Jay Lethal loses the championship to the winner of the Over-Budget Battle Royal. Why? Because I'm sick of Jay Lethal being champion. Okay, I said it. So what? Put the belt on somebody else. Let's get some new stars going here. Next match, Madison Rayne versus Britt Baker versus Chelsea Green versus Tessa Blanchard. It's a 4-way match, women's match. It's a good collection of wrestlers who know each other very well, so it should be some good, fun spots there. I don't like Tessa Blanchard. I think she has a bad attitude. I said it. I love her father. Not really a fan of hers. So I definitely hope she loses the match. Chelsea Green is awesome. I enjoy her. Madison Rayne, I could take or leave. I don't really like. I'm so indifferent about Madison Rayne. It's not even funny. I respect what she's done in the business, but I'm just indifferent. I'm not really a fan. Not really against her either. So that leaves Britt Baker. That's my pick. Hope she wins. Shout out to Britt. She's cool. The Briscoe brothers. That's Jay and Mark versus SoCal Uncensored. That's Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Now listen. First of all, I saw the Briscoe brothers at the first Ring of Honor show in Philadelphia. And I've watched these guys grow. And they've grown into a couple of nut jobs. Let me just put that out there. Especially, what's the one? I think it's Jay. He's crazy. Kazarian, he's a vet. I like him. You know, he started off with a friend of mine, Looney Lane, who I love. Shout out to Looney Lane. So I'm going to go with Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. I don't really know Scorpio Sky too well. I hope they win the match because I'm just tired of the Briscoe brothers. I don't really like their gimmick. I think they're kind of strange, kind of crazy. Mark is cool, but I think they're kind of strange, kind of crazy. So I can do without them. I miss the old Briscoe brothers, just the young kids with the bald heads who were coming up in the business and trying to do things and trying to make it. The adult Briscoe brothers, I could do without. Too much cussing, too much thinking they're badasses, whatever. Not really fans. The Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels versus Steve Amell. Now, Steve Amell is the guy that has that WB comic book show, whatever the hell it's called. He's taking on Christopher Daniels. Daniels is awesome. I love Daniels. He was at the first Ring of Honor show. He was in the main event. Always been a fan of Christopher Daniels. So I'm going to go for Christopher Daniels 100%. Hope he wins the match. Period. End of discussion. Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito versus the Golden Elite. That is the Young Bucks, who are a couple of punks, and Kota Ibushi. Now, I don't know why Kota Ibushi is in this match, because I love Kota Ibushi. He's a good man. But there's no way in hell I'll ever root for the Young Bucks to win any match. Not going to happen. So the legend Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito, they're going to win this match. Hands down. They better win this match. If you don't win this match, Rey Mysterio, you're out of the family. Period. Joey Janela versus Hangman Page in a Chicago street fight. Joey Janela, he's overrated. You know, he has that Penelope Ford as his manager. He's overrated. Whatever, Joey. Don't like you. Hangman Page, I like the new gimmick. You're in Chicago. I expect you to do the Road Warriors proud and beat the hell out of Joey Janela. Do it with a spike. Do it the right way. Bust him up. Beat him up. Break a few bones. I'm going with Hangman Page. Kazuchika Okada versus Marty Scurll. I don't like Okada. I don't like his stupid new hairdo. His gimmick is still not really that cool. He's really nothing without that championship. But I will still support Okada over that no-good Marty Scurll. I just don't like Scurll. There's nothing about him that's interesting to me. He just looks like a guy that I want to see people beat up. Can I say that? Is that like politically correct to say that? You look like somebody who I want to see get beat up. It's like Roman Reigns. I would love somebody to slap the taste out of Roman Reigns' face. I don't care. I said it. We all know how I feel. Roman knows how I feel. He's tweeted back at me a couple times about this. My arch nemesis. Marty Scurll, I hope you lose this match. Period. Get out of here. Get out of my life. Get rid of the contract. Get out of the business. Whatever. Final match of the night. Cody Rhodes with his amazing wife, Brandy, against the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion, Magnus, a.k.a. Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is interesting. You know, the guy's got himself in amazing shape. I believe is he married to Mickie James? I know they had a child together. I think he's married to Mickie James. So, because he's married to Mickie James, and because he's the NWA champion, I'm just going to go with Magnus. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I want you to lose, Magnus. Nick Aldis. I want you to lose this match. You know why? I want Cody Rhodes to win this match and become the NWA champion. I think he would be the first son to win the same championship his father won before. Be world heavyweight champion. That would be interesting. Yeah, let's do that. Let's have Cody Rhodes win this match because Cody Rhodes, I want you in your first title defense to defend against my good friend, Tim Storm. And then I want Tim Storm to beat the living daylights out of you because I don't like you, Cody. And Tim Storm is somebody you can set your watch to. He's a great man. Great champion. Carried that championship with pride for the NWA for many years. I want Tim Storm to get the first crack at Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes win the NWA championship so Tim Storm can beat the hell out of you first chance he gets. Let's get James Beard, the legend. Let's get him to referee the match. It would be awesome. I'm already booking the next match. So that's that. Overall, I think All In is going to be successful. Again, because Vince McMahon's going to allow it to be. Hopefully, they're already thinking about the next event because you got to do it again. Why not? Right? But here's what's going to happen. I think anybody with any decent name recognition on this card that's not the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes, Vince McMahon is going to hire them. Not because he really wants them or needs them. He's just going to hire them just to let Cody know where the muscle is. Because you can get every wrestling promotion on this planet together, and they still cannot handle my good friend Vincent Kennedy McMahon. It's not going to happen. Period. Folks, you can head over to the Duke Loves Rasslin Facebook page and Twitter page. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna review All In next week. I'm going to talk about what happened. See if my predictions are correct. And by the way, speaking of predictions being correct, we did the poll last week. Do you wet the toothbrush before you put the toothpaste on or not? And I was shocked at how many of you wet the toothbrush and you do it with water before you brush your teeth. It's kind of strange. I wet it with mouthwash. I already made that clear. Listerine, by the way. Shout out to Listerine. And some of you said that I was crazy for that. Well, hey, I disinfect my brush. What do you want me to do? What am I going to pour water on it for? It's like infecting it again. I'm not going to do that. You pour Listerine on the damn thing. Come on. Smarten up. What's the matter with you? So it got me to thinking. This is very important stuff here. It's time for a new poll. When you get your food, no matter what it is, do you taste it before you add something to it? Or do you just add what you like to it and move on? I'm going to give you an example here. I don't give a damn what it is. When I get my food, I'm going to put my lemon pepper seasoning on it. I'm going to do a little Frank's Red Hot on it. And then I'm going to eat it. I don't taste it beforehand. You know why? Because I want it, no matter what it is, to taste the way I want it to taste. Not the way you want it to taste. All you chefs out there, I don't really care. I want the food to taste the way I want it to taste. I bought it. It's mine. It's like when you go to a restaurant, you ask for, some kind of Worcestershire sauce or steak sauce, and they look at you like you're crazy because allegedly the chef made the steak the way that it was supposed to be. Like, the steak is how the chef wants you to taste it. Well, I don't give a damn, chef. I want it to taste the way I want it to taste. I'm paying for it. Just give me the damn Worcestershire sauce. Don't give me a hard time. Just give me a lemon pepper seasoning or give me a fresh lemon that I can squeeze. Just squeeze over the food. Don't give me a hard time. Okay? So I'm going to put the poll up this week, folks. Do you put stuff on the food, or do you taste the food first and then put the stuff on? It's very important. Don't get this wrong. You've been striking out a lot lately, folks, and I'm not really happy about it. Got to be honest with you. So there's that. And that does it for this week's edition of the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. Once again, you can head over to YouTube, check out all of our episodes. That's where they're archived. Or if you want to just check out the latest couple of episodes, we're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on everything, anything and everything, SoundCloud, whatever. In fact, if there is a podcast medium that we're not on, shoot me a message at Duke Loves Rasslin on Twitter or Facebook, or dukelovesrasslin@gmail.com. Let me know. We'll make sure we get up there for you as well. I like to put my hot sauce and my lemon pepper seasoning on the food before I taste it. I'm just going to say that one more time. And I'm going to say one more time again, Cody Rhodes, you exist because Vince McMahon allows you to exist. Period. Fight me for it. It's fine. I'll sue you if you touch me. I don't care. Folks, be kind to yourselves. Be kind to one another. This is Duke signing off. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
Mr. Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.